And
Go ahead.
could there be any potential benefit to separating the police from the other two, as far as, ensuring or increasing the likelihood that we get this police station done? I mean,
certainly it's something that we've discussed. However, you've got a 10-year lag time typically. If there is a successful vote for a GO bond and it's a 10-year payoff, we will not be doing any additional capital construction on this scale for an additional 10 years. Our studies show that community development and engineering are already woefully inadequate in space. So we believe that if the project is approached in the right way, we're addressing the MCA and 2 other MCAs as well. We're also utilizing a facility that is already owned by the city. The investment in it is relatively small compared to the up to $5 million investment in a new office building. We believe that that's a compelling story, and the public will look at the economics of that and say, yeah, let's take care of the issue. If you recall, one of the reasons the council wanted to move ahead with the federal building discussion was not only does it keep it very central, the police station, it also allows, that's a 44,000 square foot building, and it allowed the entire top floor, had that been successful, for other city uses, addressing city space needs for probably the next 20 to 25 years at it would have been a really nice facility. This does the same thing, not quite consolidating people in one space, but allowing us to address those same needs for approximately the same period of time.
And for a lot less money.
right. I mean, I love the idea of reusing these buildings rather than having it vacant and what would happen, I mean,
Sure.
with that. So I think that's, I love that idea. I just, bundling them together could be a good thing if you really get that education piece out there, or it could jeopardize
Absolutely
everything. So
And we recognize that we really need to get out there. That technical advisory committee that talked about public information, and we will discuss all kinds of ways to get that information out. And the idea is to give people, here are the facts, so that when they get in that voting booth, they're actually making a decision that makes economic sense.
Mm-hmm. And one last thing. So I assume that this means ideas or maybe brief discussions that have happened in the past about a joint law enforcement facility with the county is over and done with, or is that something that's...
It's been about 10 years, maybe a little longer, since we pursued joint law enforcement. We did that back when, I believe, Sheriff Roush and Dan Weaver was our chief of police. Council commissioners were both involved in that discussion. We proceeded with that. It turned out that at the end, it was a situation that wasn't deemed to move forward. The county didn't want to pursue it anymore, so we dropped it at that time. The facility that was being discussed at that time was much larger than one that would serve the city's needs. Council at that time, and I believe to this day, feel that the city police department should be fairly centrally located. There's no building in proximity to downtown, no building site that would allow for a joint city-county joint law enforcement facility. Additionally, there are a lot of issues that need to be resolved regarding how the cooperation goes in that facility. The estimate, if memory serves me correctly, and I have the file in my office, if my memory is not lying to me, I believe the cost of that joint law enforcement facility at that time, which had a significant jail component to it, was something around $18 to $20 million, so significantly more than this. There are also other issues that need to be resolved if that is going to be a discussion. One of the things, the county and the city don't have similar services in some ways. For instance, joint law enforcement, dispatch services. The city has made the decision to be part of the Whitcomb system. Latah County has its own dispatch system, so that would have to be resolved. There'd be county, if they have not decided to join Whitcomb or do something else, a joint law enforcement facility would have to have a dispatch center, which either the city would have to say, okay, we want to be part of that and pull out of Whitcomb, or the county would have to say they're going to Whitcomb or doing something else. So that is a big issue, and that was a huge discussion when dispatch came out. Some of the other things, and I know the current sheriff is looking at addressing some of these issues. We have incompatible records software. The county sheriff decided to go a different way than the city of Moscow did. The city of Moscow had compatible software, records keeping software with Whitman County, city of Lewiston, and a lot of folks. Latah County decided to go with a vendor out of Boise that didn't have that same widespread compatibility. So those issues that have to pretty much be all worked out as well. And those were things that were brought up back when we talked about joint law enforcement. I believe it was 2008.
So it's more than just there are different county commissioners now, but
Oh.
I understand what you're, thank you for
No,
the background.
and we
and
have
many
an excellent
issues.
relationship with our county
Yeah.
commissioners and the sheriff, best relations we've had in years. I think it's different than just could it happen.
Right.
It has to do with what are the specific needs of the city and economies of scale, what are the specific needs of the county.
And
Thank you.
to that point, I think they got some other ideas as well, Brandy.
Walter. Mr. Mayor, I would make a motion that we direct the staff to develop and prepare a public facilities bond election in May of 2018 to fund the siting and construction of a police facility on the site of the current Moscow Recycling Center, to redevelop the recycling center facility, repurposing of the current police facility to house the city's community development and engineering operations, and minimal renovations to the man building to house IS. And is HR a part of that, Gary?
That will be determined later.
And HR to be determined and for use as a record storage facility.
Second.
Okay.
Lori, there was one change in the way it's written.
Got it.
Did you get that whole thing, Lori?
With the edit.
With the
HR.
edit, okay. Walter made a motion and Gina seconded it to direct staff to prepare for the public facilities for the bond re-election. And I'm not going to go into all the detail. Lori has got it. Any confusion with anybody on that? I'll start the roll with Brandy.
Aye.
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 All right.
And I.
Okay, staff, move forward with that.
Thank you very much.